Hiya everybody, welcome to a building tutorial. As you can see behind me today, I'm going to show you how to make a pirate ship. So first things first, as with my last couple of videos, make sure you've got the no clip feature enabled. And now the other setting we need to change is in the advanced tab, right at the bottom, and it's increase platform structure limit. Make sure that slider is all the way to the right hand side, and on the box on the left it should say 5. Right, so the first step is obviously put the raft down, and now I need a foundation in the middle. I make sure the middle leg is close to the front of the raft without hanging over and not touching that plank of wood that goes across the raft. And now I want to sink the foundations, because if I don't, I won't be able to access the tiller to actually steer the boat. So to sink the foundations, you place a foundation, place a pillar in the middle of it, and now the next foundation, if ARK plays ball, as you can see there, will go down by 1 step. So just keep doing this until the foundation is down flush with the raft. I'd like to apologise whilst I'm doing this for not releasing any building tutorials for a little while, but I don't watch any other YouTube ARK builders, so pretty much everything I come up with on the videos I've come up with through trial and error, so I'm not stealing other people's ideas, and that means it can take me a little while to come up with new ideas. But at least I can look at it at the end and say, I thought of that. So here we are nearly down low enough. Right, this time it should go. Please go. Thank you. So that's how low down I want the foundations to go. Now, that beam of wood that goes across is a good indicator of if it's in the right position, because as you can see there, I've got 4 planks of wood behind it. So that means I'm in pretty much the right position. So now for the bow of the boat, we need a foundation further out. To do that, you put a ceiling, a foundation will then snap under it, and you can then destroy the ceiling. And then off to the side, I put a fence foundation, I put a ceiling, and then I put that fence foundation on that 45-degree angle. It does take a bit of practice to find that angle there. And I can now destroy the walls and that excess ceiling that I didn't need. So I'll do it again. Fence foundation, ceiling, look at the corner. There we go, that's what I want. So I put a wall and a ceiling, and now those 2 walls can be demolished, that ceiling can be demolished because that isn't needed, and the ceiling on the angle will stay attached. So now, there we go, now I place a wall there. I try to make sure everything faces the same direction, and I can now go 3 ceilings across. If I hadn't have put the foundation in the middle sticking out, those 2 ceilings there would not have placed. It would have told me it's too far away. Now you will notice, where you're creating a lot of different snap points, it can get a bit confusing trying to get stuff to place in the right position. Sometimes you just need a bit of patience and some trial and error. So there's the general pointy shape of the bow. Excuse me whilst I just mute myself, I have a bit of a bad cough, and I'm trying desperately not to cough as I do the voiceover for the video. But my voice might go by the end of doing the voiceover. Please excuse me if it does. So now I'm hanging sloped ceilings underneath. This is another of those times where the snap points can be a bit funny and it will flicker between one and the other. You can either spend an eternity going backwards and forwards trying to find a position where it stays stable, or you can just hit the button and keep replacing it and demolishing it until you get it right. And as you can see, I've already wasted a lot of sloped ceilings. And there we go. Once you get the first sloped ceiling in place, it generally makes it a bit easier for the others to snap. So there we go, that's the start of the pointed bow of the boat. And now, this, once again, this is tricky. So you just need to be patient, move into all your different positions until you see, there we go. So the pointed bow is now going into the water, so it looks like the bow actually has a purpose to cut through the water. Just need the final one now. Yes, and there we go. Sorry about that, I didn't quite mute myself quick enough. Okay, now so I just put one window frame there. I need to start extending out towards the back of the boat. So I do the one window frame, you can do a ball if you want, then I do a sloped ceiling corner piece. Now I use the ceiling trick to hang the foundations underneath. And now I destroy the ceilings I don't want, because you don't want unnecessary pieces taking up any places on your allocated building slots. So I just need to go out one more. And destroy the ceilings again. Sorry about these occasional silences, but I'm having to mute myself quite a lot so I don't cough into your ears every few minutes as I do the video. So now we want to make the stern of the boat. So I place the fence foundation. Now for here I found if you have it set back slightly into that foundation, then you don't get quite as big a gap when you place walls later. So it's exactly the same as on the bow here. So I just destroy everything that I don't need. And now I place one ceiling out. Now this is a very tricky snap point to get. And there we go. So you're doing this because you don't want the stern of a boat to be pointed like the bow, but also you don't really want it to be completely flat. So there we go. Now I can demolish these. As I said with the bow, you are creating a lot of snap points and it can get quite confusing trying to get things into the right place. So I'm looking down at the corner, the opposite corner is on the top of the screen, and you should get the right snap point. Before you demolish the spare ceiling or any of the walls, don't forget, make sure you place that ceiling that you want. I've been using this technique for a long time now, and I still frequently demolish the first wall and then everything disappears because I have forgotten to put the ceiling. So there we go. We've got the general outline of the boat. So the next thing I'll do is I will start placing the walls. I think there I want a window. This is what I mean by you've got a lot of snap points, and it does confuse the game a little bit. It's frustrating, but it is worth it. And there we go, finally get the right snap point. Don't forget, if it's facing the wrong way, you can press the Y button on the Xbox or the triangle button on the PlayStation controller to flip the piece around. And also, if you want to cycle between snap points, it's the RB button. And you can see here I had a lot of problems trying to get this back wall to place because it kept wanting to place in the wrong direction. And I'll be perfectly honest, in the end I gave up. Because I've got the no clip, I can have two walls occupying pretty much the same space. So in the end I just gave up and said, alright ARK, you win. That lower wall is going to look like that. So I now have the general shape. And now I just start building up what will be the captain's cabin. And you can see from the flicker in there, having the extra snap points is once again confusing the game slightly. And now I can start placing the ceilings. So there's all the ceilings filled in, and now I just use the sloped floors. Sorry, I was just glancing over to double check how I did it on my other boat. So now you can place the sloped ceilings. I think I just called it a sloped floor. Now you can place the sloped ceilings, and I just leave a gap there. And as you'll see many times on the build, with creating all these extra snap points, it does get a bit confusing. So you do need to be a little bit patient. Now I'll just have a look, and I need a doorway. So there we go. I now have the captain's quarters at the back of the boat. And now I want to make the walkways going around the edge. So you can get a ceiling, as you see here, you can get a ceiling to place halfway across a wall. By getting rid of that ceiling I had there, that makes it a little bit easier to find the snap point. And that wasn't supposed to happen. And then I just go and do the other side as well. So there we go, it's just halfway across the ceiling. And the game's confused with the snap points. And there we go, replace those ceilings and we're done on this section. Okay, so now I want to place a figurehead on the front of the boat, so I place a wall there, I place a ceiling on top of the wall, and to be able to place a pillar in the right place, so it's in the centre of the boat, I need to put the fence foundation there. Now this is a prime example of having too many snap points. And if I keep that on screen I might give somebody a seizure, so I should just destroy those two ceilings for a second. I'll replace them when I'm done. So the fence foundation gives me that extra snap point in the middle there. Now for this boat I'm using the dragon trophy, so as it's reasonably small I'm placing it underneath, and it looks like it's quite well framed by those corners that do stick out on the bow. And there we go, there's my figurehead. If I was going to use a T-Rex trophy, I would have actually placed it on the top here because they're so much bigger. So I've skipped ahead, I've placed the railings, and now I want to make the mast. So I go up as far as I can with the pillars, and I find I can't place the ceiling there for the crow's nest. So I drop down by one pillar and I place the top ceiling. Now I place a ceiling part way up and another ceiling part way up, to which I can then attach the wooden catwalks, and this gives me something to put the flags onto. For this I'm using the single panel flag. And to get things lined up quite nicely, I'm just using the centre line along the catwalks, and then where the flags are sticking up I can use those as my visual reference to get things central. And there we go, just put the flags either side. Sorry, I don't think I hit the mute button quite quick enough there. So there we go. And now I can just put the railings around the crow's nest. I want a trapdoor here so you can get up to the crow's nest. So the railings go around, and now I'll just drop a rope ladder down to the deck. Whilst I'm using the rope ladders, I'll just place some there either side just for a little bit of rigging. I think that cell needs to be a bit bigger, so I'll just go the next step up, place a ceiling, just comparing with the other pirate ship I have here. So I'm going to go 3 wooden catwalks out this time. And then I'll just try to get the flags all touching each other so it looks like it's all one unit. And there we go, that's looking pretty good right now. Ever since ARK came out, this is something I've really wanted to do, but the structure limit had always prevented me from doing a decent quality pirate ship. I've always loved pirates because I come from Bristol, and Bristol in England has always been a port associated with pirates. So now, just so my sailors can get up to this walkway from the front of the boat, I just place some ramps here. And now I'm going back to the stern for where the captain will steer the ship. Yeah, once again we've got a lot of snap points, and sometimes you just got to have a bit of pot luck. So I'll just place that there. Even though I've got fly mode on, I just go through that gap just to make sure when I'm on foot I can still fit through. And now I need the steering wheel of the ship. To do that, I just place a fence foundation there. That lets me place a pillar, and yes, I know it's not perfectly round, but it's the closest to a round thing I have to go there. So that's the ship wheel. Now on the back, for if I'm getting chased by leads, because I'm on Prim Plus, I can't outrun leads because I can't use the motorboat. So just in case a lead is chasing me, there is a ballista turret there. The cannons are really hard to aim, so not a massive amount of use, but it wouldn't be a proper pirate ship if you didn't have cannons poking out wherever possible. So there we go, that's looking proper. I love it. So I'll just pan round. As you can see on the front, I've placed a brazier on that pillar sticking up for a bit of light, and I've put some ballista turrets. And then around the edge by the water's edge, I just want to hide the foundations I have hanging under the boat, so I just place walls down. And there's the boat from a distance. I'm not going to show you how to decorate the boat, that's up to individual choice, but you can see I've used some hanging torches, boxes, barrels, and then in the captain's quarters I've decorated as best I can. Now at the back of the boat you can place stuff on the back wall, such as the war map. However, I'll show you here, you do reach a point where you're too far away from the platform, so I've placed the chair as far back as I can. I can place there, but I can't place there. I can place there, can't place there. So there we go, my hearties, I've done it. It's taken me 4 days to do the video. I hope it helps all of you out there. I shall wish you all the best, and I shall speak to you all soon. Bye.